Hey guys, new location today. I am at my art table, aka my dinner table. It has paint marks all over it. It's just a cheap IKEA table that I've had for years. And so I don't mind if it gets paint on it, and I use acrylic so the paint comes off really easily. But if you're someone that enjoys painting, art, join me. I'm gonna do kind of like a little Bob Ross thing. Although I don't think I'm going to film the whole time because I'm a lot slower than Bob Ross. And I have a very different style from Bob Ross. I actually am more of a pop artist. I call it whimsical, childlike pop art. Because if you look behind me, I did both of those. And this one here, actually a replica of some 80s inspired art that I liked, so I can't take credit for the design, but I replicated it myself. And then this is when I was about to take my first solo trip abroad to London. I went to London by myself. I'll make a whole video about that, I think. I got so excited, I went ahead and painted a little red bus and the word London back there. And I used to have my art in an art gallery. If I remember, I always say this in my videos, I will put a card up about, I have a video, I think it's called Goodbye Art Gallery or something I did years ago, because I was in a local art gallery and then I left it because I wasn't really selling a whole lot of art. Because really and truly, I consider myself first and foremost a performance artist. This stuff, the visual art stuff, although I really enjoy it, it's more of a cathartic hobby. It's not something I want to pursue and become known in the visual art world. But funnily enough, if you Google my name, Rebecca Pebble, Google has me listed as a visual artist. And I've actually reached out to Google and I said, correction, I would consider myself a performance artist. Please see my website with the acting and the music and the YouTube where I'm speaking on camera. But I don't know, for some reason they said visual artist, so this is for Google, I suppose. Proving them right. And today's art that I'm going to actually replicate, I suppose you could say. This is an original off the dome idea. Sometimes I paint things that are original, but mostly what I used to do is paint album covers. That was just a thing for me for the longest time. I loved painting album covers, and I would listen to the music while I was painting them. And I still have some of those, but a lot of them I just either gave away or tossed because they were made during a time in my life where I was just in a funky headspace. A lot of them I was actually going through my divorce, I want to say, or right after my divorce or right before we got divorced. It was like my way of coping. So I have been married in the past. I'll probably do a video about that too, life after divorce. And so I don't know, a lot of those remind me of a darker time, so I didn't want to hang on to them and have them up on my wall. Understandable, right? But I found there's a playlist randomly popped up on my YouTube feed, and it has the cutest, you can probably see it back here. I don't know that I'm going to pull up my laptop. You'll see the final product. But it has a cute little frog and some flowers, and it says, "Good things take time." And so I thought, you know what? It looks easy enough, and it looks similar to my style because I do acrylics and Sharpie, and I keep it very simple. And I like to have big open spaces to paint in. I do that too when I color. Sometimes I like to color coloring books or coloring pages. I don't like the adult ones that are very intricate and it's like these small spaces that you have to color in. I prefer the ones that are for toddlers. That's comforting to me because the adult ones, actually, those stress me out. So I'm thinking that kind of defeats the purpose of doing the adult coloring book. But I meant to say, before I started all this, the reason I'm doing this today, aside from being inspired by that adorable frog thumbnail, I guess it would be called, yes, is that I asked my inner child, and this is something you could do too, and if you do, let me know how it works out for you, but I tapped into myself and I said, okay, little Rebecca, what would you like to do today? Because it's Saturday, I have the day free, and I already ran my adult errands. I went to the gym, I got groceries, I cleaned my house, wiping the floors. I still need to vacuum, I'm doing laundry now, running all the errands, doing all the things, right? And so I thought, now that I have time at the end of my day, or second half of my day, what would bring me joy? And for some reason, painting, boop, popped up. I want to paint. So I got myself some canvases. They're actually super cheap. They were only $4.99 for two, which is amazing. And I like this size. I feel like it's not too big, not too small. It's the Goldilocks 11 by 14. And so I'm going to use one of these and save another one for later. But like I was telling you guys earlier, I probably won't just keep the camera rolling the whole time. I mean, I may, but I may edit this one to where it chops from section to section, because the way I do this, I do it in sections. It's just something, it's like the Rebecca Pebble method. It's not something anyone's taught me or anything I've heard anywhere or anything. It's just how I do it. I sketch the design in pencil. I then outline it in Sharpie. Then I paint it with my acrylic paints, which are just basic, like cheap. I mean, nothing, this is just, you can get this stuff any old place, you know, nothing fancy. And then I outline it in Sharpie again for the final product. So, art for all, if you're interested in doing this style. I don't want art to be intimidating for anybody. I don't think it has to be Picasso, Da Vinci, any of the greats of all time. I think in our society we've gotten to the point where we want to monetize everything and it has to be good or else we won't do it. No, creativity, art, it's for the joy of it, right? And if it happens to be somebody loves it, wants to buy it, awesome. But you don't always, I don't like that we have that pressure on ourselves. So this for me is just something fun. I'm not expecting anything from it aside from I'm hanging on my wall and it's gonna make me smile. So the first thing I do is when I open my canvases, and I'm showing you because I want to know if anyone else does this. I'm actually a sniffer. I love scents. Okay, I have a bazillion candles. I'm that person. Actually, I have one going now, apple cinnamon, and because it's fall. And I have a lot of perfumes. I have smelly hand soaps. I love scented things. I used to love scratch and sniff stickers as a kid, which I was asking one of my students the other day if they still have those, and they didn't even know what I was talking about. So apparently those have gotten phased out, which makes me sad. Bring back scratch and sniff stickers. Snickers. That too, I guess. So when I open mine, I'm saying all that to say, I'm just going to set this to the side here. I sniff my canvas. Oh my God, just like, I don't know if you guys do this too. I love smelling books. I open books all the time. I sniff it. Lately I've been sniffing my Bible because it's from 1997 and there's a scent to it that I remember when I first got it that made me feel good, so I'm sniffing it. So take a good whiff. Oh, I don't know. I think it's the wood. It smells like a craft store. You know that smell. It's like fall, basically. It's woody. It grounds you. It just smells like all the crafts and all the happiness in the world. So I do that first. It's just part of my ritual. And then I'm going to get to sketching this bad boy. So I'm going to get to sketching, and then I will come back. I think I'm going to cut it because, like I said in one of my prior videos, I have low storage. I need to just go through and delete a lot of videos. I have so many videos on here. And then I'll come back and I'll show you what I have sketched. All right. All right, I've got the first pencil sketch ready. How cute is this little whimsical guy? So it always ends up looking different once I finish it, but this is just like the rough part. So I got a frog, a flower, I think he's on a little mushroom, some flowers, some leaves, and 2 butterflies. And up here it'll say good things take time, but I think I'm going to paint this a beige color, and then I'll write good things take time, because if I write that in pencil and then I paint over it, it's just gonna be or if I do it in pencil then Sharpie, I don't think that'll work. So that's what I have so far. How cute is this frog? I love little cartoon frogs. They make me so happy. Listening to Whitney Houston, because since I'm not painting an album, I can listen to whatever, and I'm just on a Whitney Houston kick. I started with I Want to Dance with Somebody, and then it was I'm Every Woman, and now it's the Waiting to Exhale. What is it? Exhale, Shoop song. Shoop. Yeah, I'm Waiting to Exhale. It was funny because today when I was in the grocery store, I'm Every Woman came on, or was I at the craft store? Maybe I was at the craft store. I don't know. No. They were just playing like little instrumental ditties, so it had to have been the grocery store. They were playing I'm Every Woman, and the guy behind me was like humming it as he was leaving the store. I was like, that is so cool. I love that. And I've noticed people are being friendlier lately. and talking. I had conversations with some strangers about green tea. I was standing at the tea aisle and someone recommended this specific tea, and I was talking to them about how, yeah, I was looking for green tea, but yeah, and I got some lemonade. I made some lemonade in my little mason cup, and I had in these flowers. Fun fact: I got a little bouquet because I love flowers, and it had purple flowers in there, but they just started looking just like they were dying. So I took those out, and now it's just like the ones that well, it's perfect. It's perfect for fall. I wish this was further down. I got some cute like little fall things over here, but I have it to where you can only see. Look, oh, there it is. Okay, that's a little better. You can only see so much. So I will do the Sharpie, and then I will be back. Thank you guys for joining me. This is so fun. It's like you're in my living room while I'm doing this. All right, here we go. Ah, look at it. It's Sharpie-fied, Sharpie-ified. Although, I don't know how I feel. It's supposed to be he's looking to where one eye is, you can't see the other eye. But I don't know. Maybe once I paint it, it'll look a little better and it'll come together. Because sometimes it's deceiving each step, thinking, oh no, I don't know if I like it yet. But it's still cute. I'm excited. I'm going to start mixing my paints. I just use a basic paper plate. And I've got all these brushes that I've accumulated through the years. So depending on the space, I think I'm going to start with, let me go back to the picture here. I think I'm going to start with the beige background, and then I'll fill in the rest. So I actually have a beige color here that's pretty perfect. I don't think I'm going to need to mix it with, oh, that's a lovely sound. I don't think I'm going to have to mix it with anything because that's about what I want. I may add a little yellow to it. I kind of wanted to have a 70s vibe. It seemed like, to me, the color palette of the 70s, and for those of you that lived through the decade, you can let me know. But I feel like it was very warm. Lots of like almost fall colors, yellows, oranges, greens, all that good stuff. Stuff that I love. So I'm going to get painting and I'll be back. Totally forgot about Whitney Houston's Greatest Love of All, where she talks about teaching our children well, and that one got me, soft spot, I'm a teacher. So I found this is going to be the background color. I think I mixed beige. I ended up mixing it with yellow, with white, because I kind of just want like a real light yellowy beige color. And I'm kind of unconventional in my painting ways. And this is my, you know what, if I had to give creatives or artists an advice, wow, advice, not that you need it, but it would be follow your intuition. Oh, Capo's coming in to say hi. Follow your intuition, do what speaks to you, do it your way. You don't have to follow a mold or a way that it's been done before. So for me, I don't use, typically, sometimes I do, something to prop this up. I'm blanking on what it's called now. Oh my gosh, I have one. Wow. But I just hold it with my hands. Here, I'll show you. I'll get started. And I'm actually just going to go through and I'm going to just paint it, holding it in my hands. I don't know why, but I feel like this gives me more control. So I enjoy this. But I say that, I wanted to tell you that because I feel like a lot of times we get caught up in what's the right, quote unquote, right way, right? There's no right way for anything. I don't think, right? I don't know. Especially art and creativity, where you're supposed to be thinking outside the box. So I'm going to do this. I know you guys probably enjoy, I don't know if you would enjoy watching more of me doing this, but I feel like I'm really bad at multitasking. So if I'm trying to talk and fill the silences, I'll probably paint all over things. But the beautiful thing about this style that I do, pebble painting, oh, I like that, pebble painting, is that if I do accidentally paint over, like say this butterfly, thankfully I will just paint it the color it's supposed to be, and then I will use the Sharpie to go over it again, and so it'll be as if nothing had ever happened. But I try to be careful so it just minimizes the corrections I have to make later. But again, like Bob Ross says, no mistakes, just happy accidents. Okay, so I do have a story of, oh, as I stick my thumb in there. Oh my gosh. And I don't want to get up and because I'd like to keep talking to you guys. I meant to say, I have, as I'm listening to Grace Love of All, and it's talking about loving yourself and teaching our children, helping them to believe in themselves. I have a student, I teach exceptional education, or I know a lot of people know it as special education. And so I have a lot of students with autism, which, oh my gosh, I love them. They're my favorite. They have their own brands of geniuses, which I think is so cool. They're X-Men superpowers. And I have one student who's just fascinated with art, and he was telling me, he said, I just want to go to the art room and I want to watch them do art, because he has to take an intensive reading class in lieu of art class until he brings his testing score up, which don't get me started on testing because that's a whole thing I may make a video about in the education system, how we test our kids to death and then we hinge so much on one test, which is nuts to me. You could have a bad day, maybe you're not a good test taker, etc., etc. And now I'm trying to remember what movie that's from. Oh, The King and I, the musical. Love it. I need to watch that again. I love musicals. So still, you can see the beige is almost done. I'm probably going to have to get a smaller brush because there's some spots with flour where I need to get in. And so I think I'll do that. And I'm hoping my phone has enough storage to keep on. But this is what I do. I just hold it with my hands. Are any of you artists? And if you are, please let me know. And please let me know if you have a unique way of doing your art that maybe is different from what someone in an art school might teach you how to do it or something. I'd be interested to know. And you know what? It's funny because I've been doing this since I was a kid. My parents got me, I remember, an art set, and it had a ton of markers and oil, like pastels and colored pencils, crayons. It just was a set of a little bit of everything, and they got me an art table that leaned. It kind of leaned this way. Why am I doing this way? You would want it to lean this way. So and I forgot about that until just now. So it's funny how some of the stuff that we really enjoy, we've been doing it since we were kids. We just didn't, I guess because we were just doing it for the fun of it. We weren't thinking about jobs and money and monetizing it or how good we were at it. I think we forget sometimes, so we really enjoy those things. Okay, so you know what? I think I can just get in here with this thing. I'm not even gonna dirty another brush because I'm kind of a lazy artist in some ways. All right, look at that. Boom, background done. I'm gonna just check. I like to do my sides too if I can. So I'm gonna just make sure I got an even coat, and then I'll start on the rest of this. Probably start with my butterflies, and then I'm thinking maybe the frog, and then the flower and the mushrooms. So I don't know, maybe I'll come back at certain points, or maybe I'll come back when it's finished. We shall see. Enjoy the paint mixing process. I know this isn't an official like Bob Ross type palette paper plate, but I like with my orange. I was mixing and I got some liquid from this old. So just disregard that. You can see the clear liquid kind of dripping down. But I like to mix it with the beige that I already have. So I'm trying to get the color of the frog. And of course, it's not going to be exactly like the inspiration, but I try to get as close as possible. Then put my own little twist on it. But that's what I do. I kind of mix these colors like this in order to get what I'm looking for. So I took the little beige that I made out of the yellow, the beige, and the white, and then I'm mixing it with this emerald green. It's like Wizard of Oz over here. All right, so I am done with the painting portion, but can I just say, now that I'm deep into my Whitney Houston playlist, it's getting me all emotional. One Moment in Time. I forgot about that song. How inspirational is that song? And It just reminds me, thank God she was a singer. This one of the best, the greatest. And imagine if she had just decided she wanted to just do a normal job. I mean, she could have, but we would have been void of that gift. We would have been robbed of it. So, anyway. So this is what we've got. Woohoo! So I know it looks a little crazy because I color over what I did on Sharpie. So now I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to, once it dries, I'm taking my Sharpie to go over it, and then I'll show you the final product. So in the meantime, while this dries, I'm going to put my clothes in the wash in the dryer. Woohoo! It's finally finished. I love it. I think it turned out really good. Good things take time. Check it out. I hope you enjoyed this Pebble painting. I know I'm gonna enjoy this. I put a little RP with a heart on the bottom. My signature. So yeah, I gotta find a place to hang this up in my house, I guess. But of course, credit goes to that playlist, that random playlist on the internet where this was the thumbnail. So can't take credit for the design, but I love it and it inspired me, and I hope it inspires you. Go out and do something that would make your inner child happy today. All right, love you guys. See you in the next one. Bye.